Hey there again. Steve here with a few comments on this thing we call New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions. Why do we make a big deal out of New Year's resolutions? Who knows? Probably who cares, right? But here's the thing, it seems like we get pressured by people and we fall for this pressure because people come up to us and say, "What's your New Year's resolution?" How many times have we been asked that in a new year? What is your New Year's resolution? Well, first of all, it's nobody's damn business what our New Year's resolutions are, right? Nobody's business. But perhaps it's important to us. I mean, after all, anybody's ever been in a gym before? You realize that after the New Year's, a whole bunch of people start running into the gym, and then 2 weeks later, they're not there anymore. I just got an email today from meetup.com. I have a meetup.com website, and they sent out a message saying, here are some tips on the rush that's going to come as a result of all the New Year's resolutions, people joining up to meet up and to do something different. Well, I guess the important thing to realize is, why is it that we fail in these things? And why is it that it has to be a New Year's resolution? Why can't it be a resolution anytime? Because every day is a new day, right? Well, the short answer is I don't know. I do have some thoughts on it, what has worked for me, and I'll share that once again because, I don't know, sometimes sharing ideas on improving the quality of our lives works for others. So, let's start out with it here. Toastmasters Club that I go to is called CBA Toastmasters, and CBA stands for, well, we like to say it means come back again for those who are guests, but it also came from a book by Napoleon Hill, I believe, called Think and Grow Rich. The guys who started it way back in the day were a big fan of that book, apparently. And there's a line in there that goes something like, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. CBA. Now this is important, isn't it? Resolutions, we want to create something. We want to create something more for ourselves. And we want to achieve something. We want to go to that gym because we want to look more svelte or more in better shape, or we want to lose some weight. Whatever it is. People want to join meetup clubs because they want to become more confident, let's say. They want to meet people. Well, let's look at that idea. CBA, conceive, believe, achieve. Now, Napoleon Hill, in his book, and I believe it's the second chapter, it goes something like this. The title is, Belief is the starting point of all achievement. Now, I happen to disagree with that. Yeah, right, Steve disagrees with it. It must be incorrect. No, just Steve happens to disagree with it. Because I asked the question, where does desire come from? There must be a precursor to desire. And of course, this results in the infinite regression, right, as to where does everything else go. If it's got a cause, then the cause must have a cause and so on. But I like to go back to at least one step and say, look, if I have a desire for something, if you have a desire for something, it must mean that we are uncomfortable with the status quo, right? If we want to lose weight, we must be uncomfortable with the fact that we have some weight to lose. If we want to quit smoking, we must be uncomfortable. We have the desire to quit smoking, we must be uncomfortable with the fact that we are smoking. If we have the desire to find a mate in life, we must feel uncomfortable with the loneliness or something like that. So there's that to acknowledge. So there's that to be grateful for. So the conception phase has to do with a mix of several things. It has to do with the discomfort of the moment, right? Think about what happens during conception, right? There's a prize. We get to feel really great about the process, right? And, or not in some cases, but general rule, that is the case. And we have a desire, right? And we can visualize the possible results, the possible ramifications. But think of something even simpler. Think of building a house, think of building a house. I like that, building a house, because it's very graphical, right? We have the desire to build that house for whatever reason. Feel uncomfortable because we don't have it or whatever. But we must visualize it somehow. We must be able to see it somehow. We must plan it. We have plans. We lay out the plans. We strategize. We complete that project before the project, if you will. We conceive of it. We conceive of that house. But if we don't have the belief, the linchpin between the conception and the achievement has to be something we actually believe it's possible. We believe that we can get the financing. We believe that we can get the tradespeople to come in. We believe that we have the wherewithal to do it. We believe we can put up with the stress and the mud and all the hammering and everything that goes on to bring this to fruition. There is a biblical passage which I think is attributable to Jesus. I'm not sure, but we could look it up afterwards. That goes something like this. Whatsoever you wish for when you pray, believing that you will achieve it, you will achieve it. Now put aside all the, well, that's just religiosity. Put aside all that for a minute. Just look at it as a metaphor, right? How many people believe or pray for things, but they don't actually believe it? I mean, believing it is like, hey, you know what? This is possible. This is no shit possible. So that's what it's saying, right? If you're going to pray for something, praying is basically like conceiving of something, right? It's like the mental work required. If you really get down to it, it's not some hocus pocus stuff. It has to be something of, it has to have reasonable rationale to it. But it's believing in it, or conceiving in it rather. But there must be the belief. Whatsoever you wish for when you pray, believing that you will achieve it. That's necessary to achieve it. So belief has to be there. If belief is not there, we're just mere daydreamers. That's all we are in these New Year's resolution things. And that's often the case with New Year's resolution failures. There's not a strong enough belief. Because you know it. If you were to walk down the street and you saw $1 million lotteries being sold, or lottery tickets being sold here, that's like, I don't believe that. It's all bullshit. But imagine if you actually did. Imagine if for some reason somebody told you, you know what? You go in there. You have insider trading, right? You have an insider trading deal on the lottery tickets. You go in there, and this certain number you buy, you're going to win. If you believe that, and you wanted it, then you just do it. There'll be no question. So that's kind of how it is with solid conception, solid seeing of the yet to be created, and believing in its possibility. Then the action can be taken. The cost benefit analysis makes sense, and we go forward and we achieve it. So we have the conception, we have the belief, and we have the achievement as the result of actions. I think this is important. These simple ideas, I think, are important when we set out with these New Year's resolutions. Is there a complete conception? Is there a complete drawn out plan? Can I see where I'm going? Does this actually make sense? Can I see it and can I feel it? Do I see it and feel it? Does it really make sense in my life? Do I really believe it? Believe it to the point of certainty. I can do this. I can get this done. And then, can you feel the pull of the action necessary to match the cost? And then the results. Hope this is helpful. I like to take these little mental constructs with me sometimes, because when you're down in the trenches trying to get something done, sometimes it'll need a little mental picky up, and just putting these things together makes sense. I think there's some really good value in some of these old sayings. A lot of wisdom. Conceive, believe, achieve. Whatsoever you wish for when you pray, believing that you will achieve it. You'll take the actions to achieve it. Steve here again, great chatting. Happy New Year to you, and hope to see you in 2017 with bells on. Take care. Bye-bye for now.